I'll talk a little bit about what we are doing in the space of digital. So here, I think Sudhir had mentioned in the beginning, right? There are different companies are looking at the advent of AI, right? We are looking at different automation programs. Some of them are working, some of them are not, right? So Freyr as a company, we have also traveled in this journey over the last few years. We have had some successes, some of them have worked, some of them have not. But with that, we have gotten a lot of learnings. And with those learnings, right, these are the 5 key areas that we are focused on. And we look at these 5 areas, then we look at any new automation. So here, with strategic relevance, we are looking at, how does our automation, that program that we take up, how does it fit into a customer's goals, visions, their roadmap? In terms of business value, we are looking at the return of investment to the customer. We are also looking at, from technology evaluation point of view, one of the critical things is this landscape is changing so rapidly, right? And maybe something that was not possible a couple of months back is possible today, right? So we are staying up to date on the latest technology trends and actually re-evaluating the different use cases. Maybe we said, maybe it was not possible before, but it's possible today. And we're also looking at how scalable the use cases are across different customers, across different modules. So within Freya Fusion, there are different modules that we have. So we're looking at cross-module integration and also integration with customer platforms, with the different platforms that might have, and also on the different functions. Like I'll maybe give an example at a later stage, right? But there could be a use case for CMC that, from a technology point of view, could be applicable from a labeling point of view as well, right? So that's also something we're looking at. And in terms of efficiency, we're looking at how much efficiency in the process can we bring? Can we reduce the turnaround time? And the quality is the most critical aspect, right? We want to maintain a consistent output quality, and we want to make sure that we are compliant with all the different regulations. So with these 5 different core principles, right, we are rethinking and re-evaluating the way we are looking at the different automations and AI use cases that we as a company are taking upon. So with that, this is just an overview of the different automation programs that we have been working on. And maybe one area I want to focus on is the transformational, the top right. So these are the areas that are, we think are where we can bring in our domain expertise, our data that we have, and look at very complex problems and support the industry in solving such problems. So it could be something like Dossier automation, change control assessment, any structured content management, etc. So those are some of the critical areas that we as a company are looking at. Though we are looking at other areas as well, but these are some areas which it's a true differentiator from the other players and other competitors, where we bring in our data and domain expertise. Now, what we talked about earlier was, yes, these are different automation programs, but maybe now coming into a case study where we'll talk a little bit about the reality and what it takes to achieve success in these automation programs, right? So I'll just give an example of, this was a change control assessment automation program that we are working on for a particular customer. So there's a lot of complexity. It's not just merely a technology problem that comes in. There's a lot of domain and data build that has to happen before an automation can come to life. So here, from a domain point of view, right, we are going into with a team of domain experts, right, we are doing a deep understanding of the customer processes. So in this case, right, maybe global teams are operating differently, and within global teams, within different products, right, there are different product teams, they are operating differently. And local teams are definitely going to operate differently. So we're trying to understand and harmonize the different processes that exist in a particular company, and then see whether we can standardize the whole process, right? So that this is also going to set the framework up for automation. But initially what we'll do in that case is, maybe we'll have resource support, and then focus on in some KPIs, such as maybe are we performing the change control assessments on time, is the quality good, etc., right? But over time, we also look at our data. So as Vajit talked about, we have our data of all the regulations, and also beyond that, we are also moving into the requirements data as well. So with this, right, we are looking at the customer. So even for a change control assessment process, right, not everything is an external data, right? There's a lot of internal data that also can be leveraged. That data could be like maybe your past activities that you have done, or any such learnings or any such product specific documents that you have. So we're trying to understand what are the documents that exist for a customer internally, and see whether we can build some custom templates, bring some data harmonization so that it can be a feed for our tool, right? And once we do that, we move towards building of the digital processes and tools, and now we look at more strategic KPIs, right? It could be like what is our cost reduction that we have achieved, or what is the turnaround time improvement, etc., right? So this kind of framework, right? I would say these two steps are very critical before we move to the third step. So I think that's some framework that we have been using to take up any such new automation engagements. So I'll go into some of our demos, but just at a high level, right? I just wanted to showcase 5 different use cases, in a different array of functions. So we have some in CMC, labeling and publishing. But one thing I wanted to call out is, currently maybe it is offered for a particular group, right? But it could be extendable to different other functions also. Just one example, right? So this use case is maintenance of generic labels. So in this, one of the core component of this particular use case is, for generic companies, they need to submit a comparison table of your innovator label versus your generic, right? But if I look at comparison table as a use case, right, it is not just for a label. Maybe for an CMC, you're looking at a EU present proposed table as one of the automations, right? So anything that we solve here, right, as a company, we are trying to extend it to other use cases across different other functions. So with that being said, I will go into some of the demos. Maybe we'll start with the response to query. Just play that video.
Let us understand how Freya Fusion, powered by advanced AI, redefines health authority interactions. Let's say my company has submitted multiple market applications for losartan in several countries. These applications are in various stages. Some are initial submissions, while others have already been approved. Now, we're preparing to submit another initial application for losartan in a new market. We want to anticipate the types of queries the regulatory agency might have when we submit this application. No need to worry. Let's see how Freya can help. Ask Freya. I'm in the process of submitting a marketing application for losartan. What kind of queries might I expect from the regulatory agency? Freya will then analyze all previous queries related to losartan and identify those that may be raised again during the review process. Let's click on any one of the reference RTQ for more details. Here are some relevant queries from different health authorities that we can proactively address in our submission. Freya's insights helped us address most of the questions that the health authority might ask, and we submitted our application. However, the US FDA has now raised an additional query regarding the risk assessment for nitrosamine impurities. Let's explore how Freya can help us determine whether a similar query has been addressed before. We have 2 options. 1. I can simply ask Freya, I got a query about risk assessment for nitrosamine impurities. Are there any similar records about this in our system? And we get a comprehensive list of previous queries and their references for our review. Alternatively, we can use the global smart search system. Let's run a search for risk assessment for nitrosamine impurities and see if Freya has any past RTQ records related to this. It appears there are several. We can review these to understand how we responded to similar queries in the past. That's not all. Thanks to the global smart search system, we can also check relevant regulations on this topic. Let's open this specific regulation from Germany. As you can see, each regulation is curated by Freya's subject matter experts with a comprehensive summary section containing the title, associated source documents, markets and categories in scope, important dates, and reference web links. Moving to the details section gives you a detailed synopsis of the regulation, description, keywords, and so on. There's also a section for related items. We can keep the search broad to gather comprehensive data about our query, but we can also filter by identifiers like country to make the result.
I'll actually go to just one more video, and this is on publishing.
Hello everyone.
So this is
Document level publishing QC checks, also known as DLP QC, is an important step done at multiple points by regulatory professionals. Let's see how Freya Fusion, powered by advanced AI, redefines DLP QC. Freya Fusion can do 44 automated QC checks on thousands of pages in a few minutes. As part of this demonstration, we will perform a quality check to evaluate whether the DLP activities were executed correctly, based on a checklist that evaluates the previous 44 parameters like page orientation, blank and missing pages, TOC creation, hyperlinks and bookmarks, file attachments, PDF rendition, track changes and comments, and other DLP parameters. First, let us upload 15 documents containing approximately 16,500 pages. Now, let us validate if the DLP activities have been performed properly using the DLP prompt. After downloading the QC result file, we see the 15 documents have failed multiple QC checks. Now let's find out why these checks have failed. The result column indicates whether a document has passed or failed the QC, with the issues column providing reasons for any failures. Let's take a closer look at row 34, 35.
More on the DLP QC, and it also talks about what the checks and why has it failed. Just one more aspect. Wajid touched upon it earlier. I'll just show our change control assessment demo. So here within our Freya Fusion chatbot, we have a agent for change control assessment. Just in the interest of time, I'll actually show you one of our examples. So here what we're trying to do is, what are the requirements for addition of a manufacturing site for a finished product in Australia? So that is the question we have asked. And with this, the system is able to return the following information. It is able to return product type, material, dosage, but also able to classify the change. And then here there are different scenarios, right? It's able to tell whether an inspection is required, why would an inspection be triggered, when does it occur, what is the timeline, etc. And when can the inspection be waived. So this is like some basic information that happens, right? So then next question I'm asking is, what is the filing fee for this kind of change? So here we get a response. The filing fee for this kind of change is $9,700, and it not only does it give the information, but also tells where does it pull the information from this 2024 updated document. And again, this also is tied into our regulations module and is continuously updated and maintained. So then we are also asking a question: what are the documents I need to submit? And actually, yes. So with what are the documents I need to submit? There are some Dossier quality documentation, and then some GMP site related documentation, etc. But now the system also asks, can I structure this to the existing CTD modules, right? So then we say that yes, please structure it against the CTD modules. And with this, for each module, we get a different, all the list of documents that need to be prepared and submitted, customized to what is the expectation for Australia. So here we see for Australia, we need to submit module 1.2, 1.5, 1.7, 1.8 here. And then with module 2, we have, 4 or 5 different sections. And similarly for module 3, we have the corresponding sections in module 2. So just upon receiving a change, with the initial information on what is the change, what is the market I'm targeting for, and what is the kind of product, I'm able to, go ahead and assess my change and get ready for my submission. So this is the next phase we are moving towards for not only assessing your changes, but, preparing for your submissions and, maintaining compliance. So thank you.